I have never been this viscerally angry about a character in my life. She is painfully rude for no reason. Hello everybody. Why was that a British accent? Oh my god. Hello everyone, my name is Lauren. If you are familiar with me, you'll probably know me from my other channel, Life with Lauren C, but I decided to break away from that and make a channel specifically where I talk about mainly movies, TV shows, or anything that I find impeccable, impressive, or downright infuriating. Today we're going to be talking about Starstruck. When I first watched this movie, I was like 10 or 11, and I thought it was fantastic, okay? I thought it was great. The only thing I didn't like about it was that they didn't kiss at the end. Proof that I was a hopeless romantic from the beginning. But when my sister got Disney Plus and I regained access to my childhood, I rewatched this movie and didn't finish it. There was nothing remotely redeemable about this movie, and I am very easy to please when it comes to this stuff. What didn't I like about it, you ask? Let's see. Plot, music, timing, cinematography, everything. To see what I have to say about the most infuriating movie in Disney Channel history, keep watching. I'm gonna break this up into categories because that's just how we do things around here. Without further ado, let's hop into it. So the movie is set mostly in California, but it begins in Michigan. So there's these two sisters, Sarah and Jessica, and their parents are on their way to visit their grandmother in California, which is where Christopher Wilde, singing Heartthrob, resides. While they're in California, Sarah plans on meeting Christopher Wilde, and she does this by planning out all of the areas that he frequents often, which I will get into later. Their first night at the grandma's house, Sarah finds out that Christopher Wilde is gonna be at some teen club or whatever, and she decides to take Jessica along with her because that's the deal with their grandparents. You know, if you take the car, you gotta take your little sister wherever you gotta go. Typical little sister probs, whatever. She asks Jessica to wait in the car while she goes in the club, and then she's there for like, I don't even know how long. Jessica gets impatient. She gets out the car. She goes looking for Sarah, which is so stupid too. You're in freaking California. Anything can happen. While Christopher is exiting this door from the side, just so happens to be walking by and somehow gets hit in the head. So Christopher is obligated to take her to the okay? He could have literally just called an ambulance and go ahead. But he's obligated to take her to the hospital, make sure that she's doing all right. Before he takes her home from the hospital, he has to make a stop at his house to make an appearance for this movie producer, director, whatever you want to call it. He's really irrelevant if you really think about it. He does this little song, yada yada yada, which was actually pretty good if I'm gonna be honest. After he shines in all of his acoustic glory, he finally takes Jessica home, but then he gets stuck there when the paparazzi find him. So he stays in her garage overnight, and then he escapes to the beach the next morning. The next day, Sarah and Jessica go to that same beach, and Jessica spots Christopher hiding there. Paparazzi find them once again, and Christopher is forced to take Jessica's car in order to get them off of his trail. He and Jessica are basically stuck together for the entire day until the paparazzi leave the beach. Christopher now offers to show Jessica around California, which he didn't have to do, okay, mind you. They have a great time, go take pictures, go like, you know, be great, like, oh, perfect couple. Why did I just sound like a chipmunk? I don't know what. That's definitely our sprinkler. If you hear that, I'm sorry, okay?
We have to have healthy plants.
Anyway, they have a great time until the paparazzi find them again, and they have to take an alternate route. And then they end up sinking the car, because that happens. They go on foot and eventually make it back to the beach where the cameras are there again. Don't y'all have other celebrities to be tracking? I get that he's famous and all, but I mean, it ain't never that deep. So he's obviously hiding and stuff as people pass by because he doesn't want people to see him with Jessica because like she's this random girl, like what's going on? So then she gets all bent out of shape. She throws the camera that they use to take all the pictures at his feet, and he gives her a thick wad of cash, and then they part ways. I'm gonna sum up the last 30 minutes of this movie in one compound sentence. He denies he met her, regrets it, quits his career, flies out to see her, and they make up. The end. This plot, it could have been executed so much better had it, you know, had the acting have been better, had the choreography, like, we're gonna get into this, okay? Don't rush me, guys, okay? We're gonna get into it, but it could have been better, and it wasn't. I don't think that I can even express how awful the acting was. This is by far my favorite. So they're having an argument brought on by Jessica, which we'll get into in a second, and then this happens.
No, what? No.
Then what?
From the first day I met you, I just... Oh!
Christopher!
Ah!
I can't swim.
No.
Gotcha.
What? Oh, you're evil. You're so evil. You're gonna get it.
You can try.
Screw you over here. No. Come on.
Got you.
I'm gonna get you.
This is nice, isn't it?
Oh, I'm dizzy. Are you dizzy? The vertigo is real, sis. I was so confused after watching this scene. Like, make up your mind, girl. Like, do you like the guy or do you not like the guy? Like, stop playing with his emotions and stop playing with ours, okay? It's not cute. Plus, this frilly, no copyright music in the background that probably came from iMovie. I'm not dissing iMovie because that's actually what I use. Did y'all not have the money or the time to get a better track, or at least fade the track out? Like, uncultured, distasteful. Make it make sense, okay? Please. Hi there. So yeah, I'm editing this, and I'm also realizing after I'm watching the little clip of them, like the little cutesy clip, sis said she couldn't swim, but the water is like waist high. Okay, girl. Okay. I give up. Okay, I make it make sense. Moving on. I actually did not mind the music. It wasn't the best, probably because the music was not really the main focal point of the movie. Like, even though it technically is a musical, it was more of like a background to the actual plot and what was happening. Shades and Hero are probably the best songs. There was also Party Up, which was basically a sped up version of Shades if you really think about it and listen to it. But I liked it because Christopher's friend, Stubby, had some pretty good verses. But like, can y'all tell me why these two jokers are like rocking in place to a fast song? Like, where do they do that at? That's one of the things that just irks me when I watch movies like this. Rocking back and forth when there's a whole hip hop bop playing in the background. Like, what are you doing? Y'all look silly. There was nothing particularly iconic about the music in this movie, which is really sad because I think that a solid soundtrack would have saved it, or at least salvaged it into a decent movie that I wouldn't mind watching more than once. But alas, that is not the case. I am never watching this movie again. Now, I mentioned before Stubby, who is Christopher's friend, like his best friend. Stubby in this movie plays the all too familiar yet hardly ever noticeable by anyone who's not black sidekick. If you think about it, we see the black sidekick in a lot more movies than we think. We just don't realize that we're witnessing that particular trope. The black sidekick is either manifested as the best friend or the bodyguard, and their job is to, one, serve as the unpaid psychiatrist to the protagonist whenever they need emotional support or advice, or 2, serve as the comic relief, though 90 times out of 10, they're never funny. I'm not saying if you're white and you have a black best friend that you're using them or that you're racist or anything like that. I'm just pointing out the fact that the movie producers tend to make the best friend or close confidant of the white protagonist black. I don't know if they like the contrast between them. I don't know if they just think it's realistic. Maybe they're trying to normalize interracial friendships, which, though I don't know how efficient it'll be, is very, very, very admirable and commendable, and definitely a step in the right direction. Both of the girls are so freaking annoying. The sister, Sarah, is blatantly rude and belittling towards Jessica. If my sister ever treated me like that, we would need to have a conversation. This girl was just mean to her sister for no reason. She just came out of pocket with like these little stupid remarks like,
"Oh, we're gonna make you pretty enough to be my sister."
Come on. Let's make you pretty enough to be my sister.
what? She's tripping. The girl was too ugly to be her sister, basically. That's what she was implying, okay? But Jessica is not a bed of roses either, honey. She is a freaking bed of thorns, the sharp ones, okay? She is painfully rude for no reason. Even before she has that first encounter with Christopher, she has this like general animosity towards like literally everyone. The only person that she actually cares about is like her grandma, and that's it. She's so rude. And it gets even worse after she meets Christopher.
It's nice to meet you, Jessica.
Oh, I can think of nicer ways. You gonna answer that?
Look, I just want to say I'm sorry.
Noted. Are we done now? You give girls that look and expect them to fall for you? Well, it's not working with me.
So get over it.
This man drives her to the doctor, takes her to his freaking mansion, drives her home with the paparazzi constantly tailing him when he could have literally just called her a cab and sent her away, okay? Offers her $5,000 to stay in her garage for one night and offers her concert tickets, and she still has the attitude of the most insufferable little brat to ever walk the face of this earth. Even if you don't like him or his music, take the dang tickets, sis. Do you know how much money you would be making? I know she's fictional, okay? She's not a real person, okay? But I have never been this viscerally angry about a character in my life. I feel like the directors told her before shooting, okay, so what I need you to do is act like every stereotypical middle-aged woman named Karen who was pissed that they got steamed spinach instead of broccoli florets, okay? But like multiply that petty anger by like 1,000, okay? Got it? And action. Honestly, her and her stank attitude were the main reason that I decided to not finish watching this movie. And I think my feelings are valid, okay? My feelings, they matter. Also, she's got that
I'm not like other girls
vibe that just continues to follow us into 2020 as if we don't have enough crap to deal with. She hates everything that quote unquote normal girls would love. That's annoying. Like, you cannot like a person and still be civil to them, okay? But she just did not hit the mark. But then again, there's the other side of it where her sister was literally obsessed with this man.
I just got a call from AJ. She just had a chat about a text quoting a blog about Christopher Wilde.
Sarah is the older sister, and she's obsessed with Christopher Wilde. I know everything about him. Her whole trip becomes about trying to find him and the places that he frequents.
Why? Do you not have your own life? I don't consider myself a feminist, okay? The narrative of feminism has kind of excluded women of color, I feel. So like, I am for equality for every woman, okay? Like, that's just me. I still support, like, you know, equal rights and not feeling like you're being looked down upon because you're a woman, like all these other things. So there is, I would have to say there's almost like an internalized misogyny, I feel, when it comes to Sarah. She's spending so much time, literally every waking hour, every waking minute, reading about Christopher Wilde, watching TV about Christopher Wilde, trying to get tickets to go to Christopher Wilde's concerts, listening to his Christopher Wilde's music. Like, she literally spends every single spare minute of free time that she has, and even probably not free time, obsessing over this man. Like, And I'm just wondering, like, how are her grades? How is her mental health? How are her friendships, her relationship? I'm not saying that you can't be super like fanatic over a person, because like there are people that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'd totally love to see them, but like I don't know where they eat. Like I don't if Christopher Wilde were to die, which I'm not saying is what I wanted, but like if he were to pass away, or if he were to just leave, stop making music, I would be so concerned for her as a person, how she would feel, her well-being, because she's focused every little bit and piece of her life on this man who she's never even met. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me. And I know that, like, again, she's fictional. Like, I have to keep reminding myself she's fictional, but like there are actual young girls who are like this, who are like, oh my gosh, I know where this person shops, I know where this person eats, you know, I want to have his kids. Like literally people are like this. Sis, calm down, okay? First of all, you probably might not even meet him, and second of all, he's probably way different on TV than he is in real life. Like, you gotta calm down, you gotta sit down, sis, okay? Focus on your education, focus on your mental health, your well-being, okay? Don't waste or lose your life over someone you've never met, and that might not even be the person you think they are. Just use common sense, sis. Please do. Christopher honestly was the most likable person in this movie. He was patient as heck. Christopher took care of Jessica, even when she was being incredibly obnoxious. He wanted her to see that he was a real guy, that he was just trying to break away from stardom and just trying his best to live life as a 17-year-old. Honestly, the only time that I didn't really care about him was when he lied about not having met Jessica. But then again, he literally turned around like half a day and he was like, oh, actually I do love her, and I believe I'm going to go fly out to Michigan and proclaim my undying affection for her and just live happily ever after. Even when he flies out to see her and meet her, he's like, I really want to date you or whatever, I'm so sorry, I lied. And he sings this song, classic apology, and then she's like,
What did you think? You could just come here and sing to me and everything would be fine?
I wanted to slap her, okay? I am not a violent person, but I was literally so upset at this girl. I put up with it because I was like, you know what? It's fine. Her sister's a jerk, and this boy just lied that he ever knew her. But he's coming to you, sis.
He's coming to you.
He's basically admitting that he lied in public for thousands of people to see. He cared about you that much. But she has the audacity to come at him and say, so is that it? Is that it? No. I would have been like, yeah, that's it. And if you're not going to take that, I'm going back to California and I'm going to live my life. And you're going to stay here in freaking Kalamazoo, Michigan and be a stuck-up little girl like you have been for this entire movie. Characters were just crazy in this. Again, Christopher was the only person that I actually kind of liked. And also the grandma and the grandpa, even though they were only in there for like 2 scenes, they were an interracial couple, which I was like, heck yeah, that's actually pretty progressive for, I think this was like 2010, 2011. When this was, let's see. (2010) February 14th. Oh, of course it came out on Valentine's Day. Oh my god. The audacity that people had to release this movie on Valentine's Day, and they didn't even kiss in the freaking movie. Oh my god. I have no words. That's a whole other conversation right there. Other than that, this movie was just garbage. I'm sorry. It doesn't even deserve to be on Disney Plus. Like, Disney Plus is too good for a movie that it already made. If you like this movie, we all have different tastes, okay? If you don't like this movie, tell me why you don't like it. Tell me the biggest reason you don't like it. Tell me if I missed anything, any reasons as to why it was bad. That is all for today, family. Again, if you like what you see, please physically like it and hit that subscribe button. Join the club. That's it. Bye, guys.